Hello and welcome to the ATF Cast. That's anything that fires. Here we discuss science, firearms, the day-to-day, and whether you'd like it or not, we often don't, politics. The bounds are unscribed, the beliefs full of dis, and the bifocals simply unacceptable. We're a pinch of lava and a heaping cup of I don't know what the fuck is going on. So, join us on this journey of nonsense and an attempt to learn more while we do our best to put on a smiling face, keep our eyes upon the moon, and ride the waves of entropy in this ever-changing world. I'm your host, Evan, and as always, we are joined by my dad, your co-host, Matt Halava. How you doing, Pops?
Doing good, Sonny boy. How are you?
Oh, not too shabby. It's a
Good.
classic rainy spring day here in Ohio, and now I'm podcasting
Nice.
with you, so how can you
Yep.
go wrong?
Exactly. I mean, family's family no matter the distance or the weather.
Precisely.
What's with the name Splurpy?
Oh, yeah, so my friends are hating this name already. I was like, when the fuck did it even happen? Caleb and I were playing some new game. I think I was slightly inebriated on a Friday night, and I had to like choose a new gamer tag. And I was like, yeah, let me do the classic fresh air way. And I think it was taken, like, forgot the login for my account or whatever. So I was like, fuck, I need a new name. How about Splurpy DePonzo? And just came to me and typed it in. And now I've been kind of putting that on a whole bunch of social medias, and they're already sick of it. So yeah, you can call me Splurpy.
Splurpy DePonzo?
Derponzo.
Oh, my bad.
There's an aggressive R in there, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Splurpy.
Oh, fuck. Shouldn't have told you that, actually.
No, I think it's fantastic.
No, I prefer all my other nicknames. Now I just see how you doing? Old Splurpy? Old Sunny Boy? Splurpy Boy?
Well, if you ever create a little caricature or a little toy or whatever that is an AI, then maybe you just call it a Splurpy.
Oh shit!
There'll be Splurpies everywhere.
Business idea. I think we'll have to talk about that off the air so we don't get any of that corporate espionage.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you heard it here first. Splurpy is Fresh Airways, aka Evan Halava's idea.
Yeah, whatever words. Yeah, so last night didn't have to, got the opportunity to pop onto a friend's show.
Nice.
I think it was last week we weren't able to do the stream because work schmutz happened. But
life.
Yeah, that evening I had a couple IPAs and I saw that Shooting Gallery New England was on Instagram Live, and he was on there with Flying Rich. And I hopped on there, and I was just trolling them, laughing aggressively to myself, just sitting on the back porch, drinking a beer, like, dick joke. Just overloading.
Were they talking about their stocks or something? So you had to get them with the butt stock joke?
They're making all, I don't know, they're saying all kinds of shit, but I made some, I don't know, fat ass jokes, being maybe slightly flirtatious with them. So definitely put a good name in for the ATF cast, yeah.
Splurpy's on the loose.
Watch out, I'm a wild animal.
I got splurpied.
But yeah, last week, trolling them on their little Instagram Live, they had their buddy DLD After Dark pop on, and I was like, this guy seems cool, come on our show. And he's like, hell yeah, ATF cast. So he messaged me yesterday because I had invited him onto the ATF cast, and he was like, I can't do tomorrow, but I have a slot at 9:30 if you guys want to join. I was like, it's a little late. I don't think I'm gonna let the old man sleep, but I'll come on and advertise us, sure.
I wasn't in bed at 9:30. It's not like my hip needed to be in bed that soon. So,
okay.
I'm gonna go to slumber. Better put my Depends on in case I have an accident.
Yeah. So yeah, hopped on for a moment. It spoke very highly of you. Only a little bit of shit talking, and yeah,
that's our relationship. So we respect each other and love each other fully, and we talk shit back and forth. So works out nicely.
Well, exactly. He was asking how we got started the podcast, and it's like, well, basically, I'd go up to the gun shop that he works in and walk in and be like, "What's up, you ugly old fuck," or what have you. And the guys would be like, "You guys are ridiculous together. Maybe you should do a podcast or something." And then, I was like, my dad was really like, "Fuck yeah, we should definitely do a podcast." And then we just kind of made it happen. And
Exactly.
he didn't realize that you're my dad. So he said he watched some of the episodes, skipped around here and there. But we talked about how wholesome it is that we got a, little father-son drink beer and, throw around profanities kind of podcast.
Yes, which is very nice. So, but he didn't think I was old enough to be your dad. Is that it? Like,
that was his exact words. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
He's like, yeah, he doesn't seem decrepit enough to be your father.
Yep, that was it.
I might not run 3 miles in 18 minutes anymore, but I'm still going pretty good.
Yeah, no, you're pretty impressive at your age.
Nothing.
So yeah, that was fun. I hopped off of there and saw we had 6 or 10 more subscribers or whatever on YouTube. So
nice.
He has a really awesome audience and very welcoming. I had mentioned that I was an electrician at some point during the cast, so they're making electricians don't clean up after themselves jokes in the comments, which I really appreciate because we don't clean up after ourselves. It's kind of just a fact. We do a bad job.
Oh, yeah. You're up in the air and stuff falls, and then when you're done, you forget about it.
Yeah, you work harder than all the other trades. It's the end of the day. You're like, better just hop in the van, right? Yeah, and the floor is our oyster. Stripping wires and just throwing linemen, just throw it on the floor. So
yeah, it's biodegradable. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely cancer causing.
Well, I'm sure that it is in California.
Precisely.
So I mean, this watch causes cancer in California. So
I've seen your left arm. It looks boily.
Well, it's a good thing I live in Ohio, because otherwise it would be worse.
Right. What did I just say? I had a bright idea pop into my head, and then it ran away. So today was supposed to be a guest episode, but DLD After Dark couldn't make it today because he's taking care of his little one. So respect to that. No problem.
Yep, exactly. There's no issue with taking care of family.
All right, so we're doing a bit of a fuck around and talk about some news kind of episode here today.
Okay.
And something you had said just reminded me, I saw a science article today. Microplastics have for the first time been found inside of human blood.
What's the study? Is it due to perhaps a jab? Or is it just because so many people drink from plastic containers that now it's in our blood?
Oh, I think I'm not super well read on it, but
that's okay. Tell us what you know.
McNuggin says microplastic was his nickname in high school. Nice. Because he got plastic surgery for his peen and it still didn't help. I think the idea of it is we've been utilizing plastic products for so long and they don't entirely break down in the environment, so they just break down into smaller and smaller pieces. So they're now at the micro scale that we're drinking them. They're really difficult to filter out of water, so if you have microplastics in drinking water, then you're going to consume them, and if they get down to a certain size, then they're going to start going across barriers of the body and make their way into our blood. So it's really just a result of our obsession with plastic
or planning.
Yeah, it's like plastic's cool, let's use it for everything and throw it on the
side.
I
mean it's a petroleum based product, so we have to get rid of our petroleum signature in the world, so let's make more plastic. Because using paper bags is hazardous to the environment, so we got to use paper, or plastic rather, which is even worse and deadly to you. I mean, paper cuts are horrible, but I don't think anyone's ever going to be found with paper products in them.
Right.
Or what paper products we do use. And did you know we can actually make plastics out of hemp?
Yeah, hemp oil is a absolutely great replacement for petroleum that is used in plastics, and you can
Hmm.
make strong, long-lasting plastics with hemp that are also biodegradable.
Yes. And did you also know that hemp needs a whole bunch of carbon? So, in order to get rid of our carbon footprint, if we made plastics out of hemp, just those farms and fields of hemp to be able to use for plastic use, would offset the carbon signature, and the earth isn't going to turn into a desolate desert in the next 5 years, due to global warming, and kind of confused on the whole desert thing, because then the water level is going to rise, and oh my gosh, it's going to go up like half an inch in the next 200 years. So I guess that's why all the politicians still can buy their beachfront properties and not worry about global warming taking away their investments. Anywho,
It's always good to zing the politicians mid-rant.
right?
I very much appreciate that. But yeah,
You're welcome. But
our
hemp,
introduction of carbon into the environment is a
hmm
predicament. Maybe it won't turn us into a desert and an over-flooded environment in 5 years, but our overpollution of the environment, I think, if you disagree with it being a problem, then you're just being kind of silly. We do
right?
give very little fucks about our environment. So, if we're
Well,
worried
if
about our carbon emissions and, um, overpolluting the air that we all breathe, then why don't we utilize a product like hemp that, utilizes the carbon dioxide in the environment, traps it, and then we can, in turn that into a plastic that doesn't end up in our blood and is also biodegradable.
yeah, I mean, hemp's ending up in a lot of people's blood, anyways, but not in that manner, right?
Nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I don't understand it. It's like if every dairy farmer had a little plot of land where they grew hemp for polymer plastic company, uh, then that would offset all their cows' farts that AOC is so worried about. So,
I kind of like cow farts. I break all that up with a
well,
little levity.
yeah,
um,
and depending on the cow's diet, I mean, some of them might sound like Slurpee, you know.
fuck off. um, wow. Okay, so the study, it was just a small study, I think at Cambridge University. Mm, I can't read so fast. So
It's okay.
it was 22
Lift your
participants.
lift your sunglasses.
Oh. Uh, shit. It's 22 participants. It was just like,
Okay.
a small lab study, and they drew all of their blood and, started looking for plastics that were between 700 and 500,000 nanometers in size, which is 140 times plus smaller than the width of a human hair. And they found 77% of the participants had microplastics flowing around their blood as if it was just another cell in their body. So,
Huh.
yeah, you'll
I
have that on
wonder.
these plastic jobs.
Hmm. I wonder if any of those people take like Tylenol or any of those caplets that are encased, because
Mm.
I don't know what those caplets are made of. Hey, what's up, everybody? Shooting Gallery, New England. Howdy,
What's
howdy.
up, Buggy?
Uh,
That is an
Cause
interesting point. I think largely those are made from cellulose.
cellulose and gelatins or whatnot, but maybe there's a little bit in there. I don't know. So, but yes, I do believe that they are cellulose. Like some bombs are cellulose. So that's impressive.
The many wonders of the world.
I
So,
mean, nitrocellulose is a prime ingredient for a lot of 500-pound bombs or underwater mines. or you can even find it in wood putty. So,
So can you make explosives out of wood, buddy?
yeah. I mean, theoretically.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, we don't want the real ATF hanging out. Which it does so
No.
happen that last night I said "fuck the ATF" a lot, so maybe we will get some friends at some point. Who knows?
Well, we'll see what transpires. I mean, maybe that was slang for be friends with. I mean,
Yeah, I like to walk up to people in the street, and actually, it does make me friends and say "fuck the ATF," and they're like, "Wow, you must like guns too, huh?" That's how I met
where,
so many
brother?
people at the bar this weekend.
Let's talk about 300 blackout.
Last Thursday, I was out at the bar playing some pool and everything, and um, some friends of a friend walked in, and I was talking about how I'm a libertarian and just don't fuck with people, and everyone will be all right. And they're like, "We like you, man. You want a shot?" And then we talked about guns and freedom for a good little while, and then
You didn't pull your gun, did you? You want a shot? No, I got some right here.
oh,
Oh, got you.
No, that would be irresponsible as a CCW holder, Father.
Precisely. I know. So I know you want to do that. But anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, microplastics. It's something to kind of pay attention to. It could have, I don't know, unforeseen effects on our bodies or our foods. Who knows what the long-term effect is? So,
Right. Will it clog your arteries? I mean, is that stuff going to gather in a certain area and cause blockage, or they say, "Wow, it's so small and everything; it shouldn't be an issue." Well, people have issues with their hearts and stuff, anyways, right? I know someone who had a 6 bypass surgery. It's like,
woo!
what?
Yeah.
Well,
You can take
one
biological
of the
matter,
clogs, right? Go
and it
ahead.
can still clog. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you have
So,
a object that is already broken down to its extent that it can break down and it gets with all of its friends,
right?
yeah, maybe a 6 bypass surgery is just going to be a regular occurrence at 30 for us in the future.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
So, that would be bad. But yeah, one of his arteries had actually ruptured.
Shoo.
So, but it ruptured along the clog. So he was only barely seeping blood.
Huh. Imagine that.
Otherwise he would have been dead like a year prior. So it's like, okay, so the clogged artery, which would in time kill him, actually saved his life at the time that the artery deteriorated and was bad and ruptured.
Whew. Peculiar. Yeah.
Right?
Man, how complex everything can be.
Mm-hmm. And now we have plastics in our body. Why you
Yeah.
go with bottled beer?
I think in other heart and plastics news, I believe they just recently did the first continuous flow device transplanted into a man's cavity whose heart was too deteriorated. I think he had some kind of disease where if they gave him a new heart, his body would basically just eat it. So they put in basically continuous, imagine a pond pump or something. It just continuously cycles blood through him.
That's really impressive. I mean, I saw one study where they're showing the human heart, and the human heart was almost clear, right? So if you look at your veins and arteries and stuff, and there's no blood in there, it's virtually clear. So you've seen it when you're taking care of chicken, right? But the human heart was virtually clear, and it said that it wasn't a ghost's heart. You know that the uh, doctor had removed all of the DNA from that donated heart, so that now the DNA from the recipient can be starting to be put in there, so that once they do the transplant, it's going to accept it. I was
Wow.
like, oh, wow,
Shit.
that's awesome,
Let me
right? I mean,
let me get that DNA.
right? Let's just get all the DNA out of here. We're going to wash the DNA out of this heart, and then we're going to start infusing your DNA into it, so that once we put it in your chest, then you're going to accept it. That is crazy awesome.
That's very amazing. It's crazy to think about like where we are now with medicine, and like these crazy things are just starting to kind of make headway. But in comparison to like the surgeon barber that would bloodlet you because you have ghosts in your bloods, now we're
Right.
here, and where we go from here, maybe plastics won't be an issue at all. Maybe we'll just put some nanobots in there and they'll utilize the plastic to construct new organs or
Nanobots.
yeah, who knows?
Oh, or a new organ. Okay, I can see that. So,
put a little structure.
Or the nanobots take all the plastic that's in your blood and they go put it in between your joints. So as your joints wear down, now you have little, you don't snap, crackle, pop anymore. You have a nice buffer in there. Huh.
We should inject some microplastics into your elbows. Test it out.
My elbows work great. That was an example thereof.
Oh,
that wasn't
sorry. I hadn't seen you in like a week or two. I don't know how much you deteriorated. Yeah, it's a good day for a zinger.
Woo! Keep it going, Splurpy.
Yeah, my name is not Splurpy anymore. It's
well,
funny.
No, I like it. I think it's catchy.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I like it too. It's just
maybe I could be Splat.
Splurpy and Splat Matt. No, I don't think so.
It sounded better when it wasn't said.
Yeah.
A lot of things do.
Most.
Yeah.
Ow! Sorry, excuse me. My cat just bit my finger. Yeah. Show me your snacks.
This is Blue Diamond almonds. It's bold flavor. Wasabi and soy sauce.
Shooting Gallery says he's been a painter and a gunsmith, and he's not really worried about plastic in his body. He's got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, like drill bits. Custom zingers.
That was a good one.
I know you had a couple items you wanted to tackle today, potentially, in our discussions of news and nonsense. What you got anything?
Wasabi is so good.
Wasabi and soy.
Oh, it's so good.
I got some hot mustard in the fridge, and I almost put a big spoonful in with my veggies. I cooked a little meal up before this. I was like, I don't think that flavor profile will work, but man, do I love that hot fucking Chinese mustard. Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Clears you right up. It's like, sticking too big of a wallop on your sushi of wasabi.
Oh, yeah, I did that at a local wasabi restaurant. One up in Akron. Oh, yeah. So that wasabi from true wasabi is different than the wasabi that you get at Giant Eagle or wherever the heck, even some of the other restaurants. This craftsman, this master chef, his wasabi was amazing. I put a little too much on that on that sushi. Popped the whole thing in my mouth. Took a bite. Oh, so good. I think some of the wasabi went up behind my palate and just smacked my sinuses.
It always makes it up there somehow.
Oh, so good. I think there was some paste up there, not just the essence of it emitting its way up there. I think it just actually. Oh, so good. I was crying. in a good way. I had little beads of sweat on my head in a good way. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it when Riley was on, but we went and got some Chinese one day and got some sushi, and he put a big old dollop of wasabi across like two pieces of sushi. I think he had like the last two on his plate or whatever. And he takes them both, he's just mountain wasabi, and he sticks them both in his mouth. And like before he can even bite down on the sushi, the wasabi hits his palate. So then he's like, like right as the waitress walks up. So fucking American white boy like choking on a sushi rod, fucking like crying because all the wasabi's up in his mouth. And I'm just like, sorry, can we get some more water, please?
Sorry, please excuse my white friend. Could we have some water?
And then I put a big old piece in my mouth and was like, it was like before she could walk away.
Yep. You before you walked away. You got good timing. That's even better. Oh, wait to take one for your friend. That way, he doesn't look silly by himself.
I mean, he always looks silly by himself, but yeah.
Oh yeah, genetics.
Let's see. We got a comment in here from Brandon F. What's going on? Is it genetics that causes problems or nutrients deficiency over the course of your life? Kind of like enough of the plastic over 30 years will cause hair loss, but you go to the doctor and they tell you. I guess that's the big question. The old man's got a lot of plastic in his blood.
I think that's because my mom used to grab me here or here when I messed up as a child.
Yeah. So. I wonder where I get it. Excuse me for one moment. I must get rid of this cat.
Oh, she loves you.
Yeah, she's being cute. She probably wants to eat my ears or something. She probably thinks I'm close to death, waiting for the next meal. One moment. All right. This nice new office share isn't going to last very long, I don't think, with her.
Yeah, probably not.
You'll have that on these cat jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, wasabi, the news, space, all kinds of schmutz on the table. What you got to spoon feed me?
Well, I don't know. What was the last question or comment about genetics? Or that was more of a statement, right? Or a comment. Yeah. It wasn't a question because I'm not a biologist, so I can't tell you what a woman is. But I can tell you that too much plastic in your blood system can't be good.
Sorry. Comments. Agorizer. Hey, Chads. Hello. My name is actually Splurpy, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Chads?
Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
No, I'm guessing Chad spawned another one, or cloned, or I don't know. I can go in 1,000 different directions.
I like that. I'll just let you keep on guessing for a little while.
Okay. Because there's 360 degrees, but there's 6,400 mils. So I'm just going to start working my way around the mils.
Oh, is that how many mils are in a circle, huh?
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's new information to me.
Anytime.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down.
Here.
Doop, 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 doop. Perfect. All right, so you get the lead on the next segment.
Okay.
All the pressure. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I don't know what's hot and exciting in the news. Nothing, right? There's a lot of things in the news that I'm sure is very important. Unfortunately, the news is always skewed, so it's really hard to understand what's going on. And to be able to see what's happening. Oh, there you go. There's a nice little segue into situational awareness.
Ooh, damn. We need some sponsors so you can just slide into a sponsor.
Slide. Just slide into that. But situational awareness. I know you have it
To a
uh,
degree.
to a degree, but every human does, right? So situational awareness is just being aware of your surroundings. Some people lack the ability to do it. So, well, everyone has the ability for situational awareness. Like the individual driving next to you on the highway, they pretty much have the same view as you do. They're not too far off from your situation to their situation where their awareness should be skewed that much, except for the bowl of cereal that they have on their steering wheel while they're driving, and try to change the radio station or text or double check the garage door because they're not sure if it's up, and they didn't see the last mile ahead of them was nothing but brake light, brake, whole bunch of brake lights, and then they get into an accident, throwing milk and fruity pebbles all over the windshield while cussing at the vehicle in front of them because that guy's an idiot because you ran into him. Well, if you had a little situational awareness, paying attention to what the hell you're supposed to be doing, you wouldn't have been in that predicament. Now, granted, some things happen in a huge surprise, quick moment, right? So you be driving and then the bridge above you collapses. Well, nothing you can do there, right? But
Unless you have the
situational,
Mothman. Sorry.
oh, ooh, nice. Going into the sci-fi stuff. I like that mythology. It's so good. Anyways, uh, situational awareness is just being able to be awake and present in the presence of what you're doing, right? And we can't all be code red, situational awareness 100%. That's way too much, too time consuming. It's going to draw all your energy, but you don't have to be in green all the time. You kind of hover in yellow instead of going to orange or being in red, right? Red is, yes, there's an imminent threat right there. So you should have seen that. One of the things that's probably the worst thing for anybody for situational awareness is the devices that everyone carries around with them, right? You see most people with their nose down, and if they're looking down, they really can't see what's going on around them. I'm not saying people have to be like a Secret Service agent with the cool shades like you're wearing and just standing there checking out Nana because Nana's really close. Is Nana a threat? Oh, there's a family with their child, and then right. So, but you're scanning for threats the whole time. You're going to get tired, and at some point you're going to slip when you need to be aware. Maintaining a little bit of situational awareness and knowing what the hell's going on around you is important to your safety, and if you're with anyone else, their safety as well, right? I'm sure everyone's seen videos of the super dad or super mom that snatched a child out of the way of a speeding car. Well, that is awesome, but they were just paying attention to what was going on, right?
And
So,
then you get the parent reflexes into the mix. Um,
oh yeah,
I went
so
to, when Gunsplaining and I came up to visit you, talk guns and whatnot, we went to Cracker
uh-huh.
Barrel that morning. And we talked for a moment about situational awareness because both being concealed carriers and having, situational awareness in general, we both like bumped into each other trying to get to the same side of the table because it was facing the entrance. I was like, "Oh, sorry. We probably shouldn't sit next to each other holding hands. I'm not used to going places where everyone else is also thinking about viewing the potential threat and not having the back to the
right.
entryway." So yeah, that was just a fun moment. I thought I should probably share.
No, that's a perfect moment. There are few people that I would go out with to a restaurant or whatever, and I would be okay with my back to the door. Right? There are a few people I trust because they're situationally aware. They're also caring, right? They care for who's around them and want to take care of the people that are nearby as well if something bad were to transpire. Uh, so you, Julie, um, that's kind of it for who I would be in a restaurant with, or out and about with. Um, so trying to always position yourself to see everything can be tiresome, right? And sometimes I don't mind sitting with my back to the table. If there's some pictures on the wall or a mirror on the wall, then I can still kind of pay attention to what's going on behind me with the mirror. You go, well, that's crazy. Why would you do that? I don't know. I do it while I'm driving. I have 3 mirrors on my vehicle that let me know what the hell's going on behind me, right?
Yeah, I would sit in the break room at Auto Tool, and there'd be the window there, and sit away from the door that everyone comes in, and be eating my lunch or whatever, and I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Liz? Oh, what's up, fucking cilantro?" And they'd be like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, they caught on pretty quickly that I was looking in the window, but like, what the fuck? You got eyes
Right.
in the back of your head?" I'm like, "No, my weird dad taught me how to utilize reflections to see what's going on behind me."
They come in handy. Now I
Yeah,
learned
they really
that
do.
from my father. Not that he taught me situational awareness, but he did teach me that when my sister stuck her tongue out at him for him telling her to eat your beans or whatever. We're at the dinner table. He told her, you're not getting up until you eat. She went, and he said, you do that face, wiggle your fingers again, you're gonna be sorry. So, woo, started, right? I'm just kind of like, how did he see that? Well, then I noticed that the sun's gone down. It was probably December or something, and the sun has gone down, so the windows were just a big mirror. So he saw everything. I was like, oh, genius. So from that point forward, I've been using reflections. Reflections come in very handy. When I'm pumping gas, my vehicle is a huge mirror. I can see what's going on behind me. I don't have to, do 360-degree pivot. Uh, I like to use reflections, as we just said. I like to be able to see what's going on, right? So I try not to keep my nose down, or even if I'm looking at my phone, it's not typically like this, it'd be more like this, so that my peripheral vision can see some stuff, right? But I'm also paying attention to what I might hear and what I might smell. If you smell fire, something's burning, right?
That's
Now,
absurd.
if, right, yeah, and there's different smells for different fires. There's electrical fires that there's
Mm.
just the heat that you can smell. There's plastics that are burning, possibly in your flesh. Um, right?
Nice callback.
Uh, thank you. I just kind of fall back into some things.
The electrical fire smell, man, we can
Hmm.
pick that out from a good bit away. And like me and gunsplaining, doing a lot of parking lot lighting and stuff, and you're like, oh, something's wrong with the parking lot lights. You get out of the van, and be like, there's a ground box that's melted, you know. And I've turned to love that smell. It's like
You're
gasoline.
like,
You're like, I don't think I should enjoy the smell, but I do.
ooh, smells like a paycheck.
Yeah, some
I can fix
money.
that for you.
Yeah. So yeah, utilizing your senses other than just sight.
Right. I see a lot of people that come out of a grocery store and they're watching their basket as they push it. Right? Why are you looking at the handle where your hands are? Your senses are already there. So why don't you look to see where you're going? Try to remember where you park, because I love watching people just kind of walk around and they start hitting their remote,
Yeah.
trying to listen for the beep of their car.
Drive some beaters, you won't have that luxury. Then you will always remember where you park.
Try to always remember where you park. right?
Yeah. And on the point of the
Yeah.
shopping cart, that's one thing that drives me nuts because, yeah, people are looking at their feet or, observing their groceries. Like, you know what you just bought? Come on. But it's like people are
Mm-hmm.
just always staring down. I walk out of the grocery store and usually it just so happens that, like, the sun will be setting or something, good evening shopping trip. And I don't know, there's something about taking that moment and go, it smells good outside. You feel like see everybody else wandering around, going by their daily lives. And,
Mm-hmm.
not enough people take a moment to just look around and not only be situationally aware, but just be aware of life in
Yeah.
general.
You step out, you can tell it's going to rain in an hour. The sun's going
Mm.
down. You're like, look at those clouds. Look at the colors. Thank you, little baby Jesus. What a beautiful painting, right? I get to live this. Thank you. And you're also making sure you're not going to get ran over. You're also making sure as you're walking to your vehicle that it looks good. While you're loading your vehicle, you want to be looking around, paying attention. As you get into your vehicle, you still want to pay attention. As I get in the vehicle, once I get in, I lock the door. That's just me. You have to stop to smell the plastics. Nice. But yes, you have to stop to smell the plastics. Don't forget to do that. You know, be aware of what's going around. Uh, if you drive a big vehicle and you can't really see around and you have poor vision on your vehicle, don't park with everyone else because I see a whole bunch of people backing out and smacking into someone. They go, "Well, I never saw them." Okay, well, if you have blind spots in your vehicle and it's horrible for you to park down a little bit where other people don't park, right? I'll park a little farther away because I don't mind. And I get to walk to the store, and people go, "Oh, I got to walk so far." You're going to walk a mile and a half up and down every aisle looking for something fun to get. And then you
Right.
got to walk all the way back to your vehicle, not paying attention to what's going on. You may get ran over because you're not looking. You may get mugged or jacked because now your face is in your trunk. You're not even looking around you. The vehicle that's opposite you may back out of their parking spot and crush you between them and your vehicle,
Mm.
right? So pay attention. That's just basic stuff. That's not even falling into the fact that you're carrying a firearm. So you should be paying attention to some things because your level of alertness should be a little bit more because you have a responsibility with it, right? And then being able to pick out something that's not quite right. Okay. Let's say it's 102 degrees outside and you're paying for your groceries and you look over and three guys come walking in with huge coats on, dusters. And you're like, well, that's different, right? I would say with a mask, but people wear masks now. So they got their mask, but they have these huge leather coats on. And you're like, oh, that's different.
It's hot
I
as
wonder
hell
if
out here.
it's hot as hell out. Huh. I wonder if they're in a play together, maybe Oklahoma or something. So, which is possible, but it's also odd. So pay attention to the oddities, right? Situational awareness is just being awakened in the moment. What do you have to add?
I mean, I'm sure all kinds of stuff on the being aware of your surroundings on just kind of a small thing. Now, yesterday I got home. I think it was yesterday. I don't know what day I pulled home, but I know this happened. Um, I pulled up in the driveway and I was like, something's not right. I like got out of the car for a second. I was looking around and I was like, something's not quite right in my backyard here. And there's been like a pile of schmutz in my back by my driveway that the last tenant left and renting from a buddy, and we've been busy, so we haven't really taken the time to clean it up or anything. But I started looking around and I was like, well, I'm missing the muffler and the tire that was sitting in my yard. What the hell? It was just like subconsciously I was like, something's not right, something's missing here. I started looking around, I was like, did somebody scrap my backyard and then rob my house? So then, you know, all these things start going through my head, and you know, then I go into red level. As I'm like, something's not right. Boom, situational awareness is spiked. So yeah, you don't have to walk around being in red all the time, or even yellow at that point, but you have to be, I don't know, at least train yourself to the degree that you can subconsciously pick out that things are odd, and then you can transition into that higher DEFCON, lower DEFCON, whatever, and you know, start looking around for a greater threat or a greater, you know, misalignment of your normal day. Yeah. Oh, he wasn't listening. He was just frozen. Well, I have to pee, so we're going to take that as a quick intermission. Please hold. Damn it, Putin!
Damn it, Putin! You gotta get the internet going, boy. Damn Russians.
Hey, you dropped out there. I thought you were listening very like tentatively to my story, and then I was like, "Oh no, I think he's frozen," and then he just whoop disappeared. But
Yeah,
I
as
guess
did my internet. So that happens periodically.
yeah, they should get that fixed for you. You know?
Yeah, I think we're on our fourth modem.
It's absurd.
So yeah, they're like, yeah, we have to go through all the bad modems first. I mean, like 20% of them work really well. The others don't, but they won't send us new modems until all of them are proven to be crappy. Like, so you have 20% customer satisfaction possibility along with new customers. Wouldn't you want 100% or at least the 80? Right? I don't know. But anyways, I missed part
Yeah.
of your story.
Anyways, well, I don't remember exactly what it was, and I did tell the whole thing. So, let's see what else to add to the
Okay, do you have a question
situational
for me?
awareness. Yeah. What is the meaning of life?
Oh, meaning of life. That's a little different for everybody, right?
Hmm.
So everyone has different senses, flavors, and appreciation to things. Uh, so that's a different answer to everyone.
Nice. That's a good answer.
Great cop out, isn't it?
Yeah, I appreciates that.
You're welcome. No, I think the meaning of life is to live, to experience life, to have failures so that you can find successes. Right? You,
Hmm.
you you don't become successful everything you do. That's just not the way things work. So as you continue and you grow and you build yourself, then you can teach on to others the things that you've learned through your time. Uh, Grandpa Halava once told me a story. Well, actually, I believe he was talking to Uncle Carl and explaining things about life, right? So, wise man that was sharing his knowledge. So, he gives him the story of, let's say, Grandpa was still around and we go on hikes together, right? So, Grandpa, and me, and you, we're on a hike together. We need to cross a creek. So then there's a bunch of rocks across there, so we're not going to get wet, right? So Grandpa goes first, and he gives me some warnings of some of the rocks. Watch out for the third one; it wobbles. The fourth one teeters towards you, right? The fifth one's slippery, so you may want to jump to the sixth one. So all the knowledge that he's gained going across, he's given to me. Now, as I go across and I get to that point, I turn to you and I explain some of those trouble spots, some of those spots to avoid, some of the rocks that are very sound and good to land on, right? That have sure footing. Would you listen to us?
Yeah.
Okay. So he explained to Uncle Carl, same with life. I've already been your age. I've already gone through school. I've had friends. I've done things. I've already crossed that creek. All I'm trying to tell you is what rocks are slippery, what rocks wobble, and which ones are solid. It's up to you to choose which ones you leap to.
Mm.
So that's part of life.
Whew. Sometimes you just get me. So, the meaning of life is to make the lives after yours better,
I think so.
and in doing so, experience life itself.
Yeah. Try new things. Cross those creeks.
Hmm.
Boom. You'll never cross the same creek twice, right? I forget who said that a man will never go through the same river twice, even though it's the same location, even though it's the same river, the same name of the river, the same area that you've crossed. You're different since you passed through, right? So you've made your prints through the silt and the ground, the base of the river. The water is not the same. The water could be colder, could be higher, could be lower. Even though it's the same river, it's going to be different. So even though the situations are very similar, they'll never be exactly the same. So even though you cross through that river, you've gained some knowledge. You know, as you're getting close to the edge, there's a larger angle, right? So you may be expecting that the next time you cross. But so much water may have passed by already that that angle is less of an incline. So it's an easier slope up and out. So your effort to get out of the river was smoother than it was the first time.
I really like life being compared to waterways. I think that's how I'm going to approach things from now on.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, right? So I use that water, the crossing the creek with your cousin Aurora, because she was a little stressed in time and pain, at some time in her life as a teenager. So this was many years ago. But it was like, okay, listen, your Aunt Tracy and your mom are trying to give you some advice. They've already, so I explained the whole creek crossing, and she understood. I guess that's why she's in Harvard.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I like all that waterway comparison. One of my favorite quotes, and I never get it exactly right, but something like the mark of a successful man is one that can spend the entire day on the bank of a river without a care in the world. And it's like, now I guess in combining these things, the mark of a successful man is one that can sit and ponder life without letting the stresses overcome him, and learn from it, observe it.
Learn from it, observe it, teach it to others, experience love, experience kindness, share love, share kindness, right? Because experience of a moment or a feeling isn't just what is given to you. Experience is also giving, right? So experiences in life just aren't things that happen to you. They're things that you happen to do and to share with others, right? Because let's say you walk out of the store, that's situational awareness, and you look up and you see the sunset, the sky is beautiful, and you're like, wow, look at the sky. Then you realize you're like, oh crap, I'm kind of like talking out loud. I'm not even with any of my friends or anybody. And then you look over, and then you start seeing some people look up from their phone or whatever, and they just stand there for a second looking. You just share that experience with others and didn't even know it. Well, you would have known it. But
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So try to share things, especially positive things in life with the ones you love.
One of my favorite podcasters that I draw a lot of inspiration from. I'm trying to kind of learn a bit more of, the beautiful ways that he approaches these conversations. But he's a scientist, Lex Friedman, an artificial intelligence engineer, I believe, from MIT. I don't think he works with them anymore. But one of the things I very much love most about him is he'll talk about very complex subjects. He had Mark Zuckerberg on, was talking about freedom of speech and privacy in the digital age and all of these things, but he still always asks this question to his patrons or his guests. He always asks them about love and like its impact on the world, because he'll be talking about war and he's like, all right, but to counter that, what do you think about love? I really like that. That's always a break in the scientific discussion, and everything, because it's a universal feeling, and it can be discussed as far as its benefits and its negativities in all kinds of really intricately twisted ways.
Yes.
But today I listened to an episode of his before I hopped on for this podcast, and he was talking with the at one point the number one um, America's most wanted criminal for cybercrime. They call him the original, the cyber godfather or some shit. Over the course of his time stealing money and kind of working the back ends of the web, he stole, I think, upwards of $6 million, and that actually might be a very low number because he escaped police custody a number of times. At one point, in like the first 2 months, he did a whole bunch of tax return scams and made like 160 grand a month or whatever. But
Wow.
so yeah, he was just talking and talking, and then Lex is like, I think I heard that you fell in love with a stripper. Let me tell you about that. And then what came out of this man is like one of the most beautiful stories I've ever heard in my life. Just really intertwining all of this crime and making money and being in prison and watching people get murdered in front of him, and then like genuinely falling in love and almost building a beautiful life with a stripper nonetheless. But it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like those unexpected outcomes of things, and I think he very much pulls them out of people by asking those more life questions and some of the more serious conversations, like that we can talk about 300 Blackout and be like, what do you think the meaning of life is? Because it can all just become such a complex and able to be learned from conversation. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is nice.
What's up, Swamp Dog? And Keiichi.
Who?
I don't know how to say the name, but they're also greeting Swamp Dog. And Swamp Dog says that the stripper story beats the meeting his wife on eBay story. So Swamp Dog, need to hear that.
Yeah, were you guys bidding for the same Xbox or something?
Same.
I don't know if you bid for it on eBay, but I said it. So I've never purchased anything off of eBay. I don't know.
Nor have I. Key.
But he's got a wife, so that worked out for him apparently.
Yeah, I can't wait until we have him on. I need to put down the show notes to ask him about love in general when we have him
Was
on.
she like a Russian bride or maybe Ukrainian now? I don't know.
Don't I have an uncle that is in that business?
Well, kind of. He's a second cousin. So a cousin of mine.
Okay.
At some point, I don't know if he's still doing it, but at some point he moved to the Philippines to be with the love of his life and to help others experience the same. So some views would be, well, that's human trafficking. Other views would be matchmaking. So I guess it just kind of falls into what your opinion is. For me, that's a little odd. Well, it's odd. I want to do it, but I don't know. I never delved into the actual business to see what was going on.
That could be for the better.
Right. Let sleeping dogs lie. So.
Yeah, it's sometimes you start investigating family businesses and you find, I don't know, you find things you'd rather not know. It's better to keep the Halava name sound and true. It's not investigate that one too far.
Precisely. So
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good solid name.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like Kiaski. Yeah.
Yeah, Kiaski.
Kiaski. Hey, I'm walking here, huh? Yeah, it's nice. Sometimes the deep philosophical conversations take it out of me.
Yeah, I understand. So they can lower your situational awareness. Oh,
what's that?
Back to it. What's that? Right. So you don't have to be a secret spy and noticing everything or whatever, but at some point when your bubble collapses around what you're focused on, let the bubble open up again, look around, double check things. It'll keep you and your loved ones safe.
Yeah, it's just as meditation or a sine wave, the ebb and flow of the tides. Nothing is ever steady. That's why we reference entropy in our introduction. Yeah, to ride the ebb and flow of situational awareness. Notice that you're not being situationally aware, that you're being too much of it. And
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm spending too much time reading about riboflavin. I need to, you know, I don't face the shelf in front of me when I read things. I typically turn and then now my back's to the shelf because I want to be polite. Someone trying to get by, and I don't see them behind me. That's rude. So I turn. So now I can see people passing, and if I have to move aside so that someone can reach the granola bars that I'm standing in front of, or whatever it may be, uh, I'll do that. So part of situational awareness is courtesy.
Mm. Hold on, I'm copying something here. I know that Swamp Dog is big on um, video and media,
Yodeling?
and I imagine yodeling and photography. Um, so I figured I'd go ahead and post my newly updated Flickr over there. Boom. Because I was while we're talking about the being kind as a portion of situational awareness, I was thinking about this past Saturday when I was reasonably inebriated at the bar, and I brought my camera along for the ride because I've been trying to not leave the house without my camera now, and used to not do a whole bunch of portraiture unless it was like my friends and stuff because I always had this wall to overcome. And I was like, I don't know, it felt weird to go up to a stranger and be like, "Can I take a picture, dude?" But at some point I overcame that, especially with the help of social lubricity that alcohol brings upon. So we went out to the bar, and what really struck me is getting more into the like street portraiture and stuff is like how sincerely and lovingly a stranger will stare into your camera if you approach them with a smile and ask if you can take their picture. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's a compliment to them.
Hmm.
You're like, hey, I love photography. I think you have a neat look. I would love to take some pictures of you. I think you're very interesting, or you know, uh, you know, you probably don't want to be like, I think you're really hot or you're good looking, right? I mean, a lot of it's the delivery. But if someone came up to me and I was dressed like a pirate and they want to take some pictures, I'd be like, sure, or even dressed like this, right? Just my dailies. They say, hey, kind of unique, and I like the background that's behind you. Mind if I take some pictures of you? Like, go ahead. So I I think a lot of people, when you ask them and you start chit chatting with them, they take it as a compliment right off.
Mm. That's a good way to
So
look at it. I think I used to
yeah,
be
so
fearful that people would be, I don't know, it feels as though I was being
pervert,
intrusive. Yeah, or something
right?
of that nature. Uh, yeah, and I'm got some followers, met some people, don't remember their names, but like walked up to the bar and was like ordering a beer or whatever, and some girl was like, "It's her birthday," and I was like, "Fuck it," and 3 shots for the ladies too, and then they're like, "Oh, you have a camera, take our picture." So now I, made some fast friends for a moment, got a couple cool photos, and then went on with my
Nice,
day. And then,
nice.
yeah, got back to my friends and they're like, "Dude, where have you been? Wow, why do you keep disappearing? You were gone for like 20 minutes." It
Well, I was
felt like,
buying
I don't even
shots for the
know.
ladies, and I was doing some flicker.
Yeah, or I bought some cigarettes in the bathroom, or,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
I know. What a,
No, remember the fifth rock? That's a fifth rock. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't jump on the fifth rock. Go to the sixth rock, boy. Don't buy.
uh, fatherly advice. I know that's a crazy sentence to say. See, I walked in the bathroom and it was like I felt like I was in a Bond movie or something. There was a bathroom attendant. He had like a little curtain thing, and he pulled it back, and he had mints and smokes and like whole thing, and he just had a little basket for cash, and he's like, "Anybody need anything? I got cigarettes, I got gum," and I was like,
Wait, okay, you said you're slightly inebriated, so like truly slightly inebriated, or
"No, at
was
this
there a
point, I
guy
was
standing there with
reasonably
his coat
inebriated."
open?
No,
You just saw his curtain.
no,
I
no,
got
I
I
wasn't
got
that
some
drunk.
cigarettes. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just making
He
sure.
had a genuine booth, like it was set up. They had shelves built into the wall, pops. So
Okay, all right.
yeah,
Well,
and I was like washing my hands. I looked over. I was like, I guess I'm drunk enough. How much for a pack of cigarettes? And he's like, I got a pack. I got like 5 left in a pack. I was like, $2. He said $3. It was like $2.50. So sitting there, wash my hands, haggling for smokes, pull out a couple bucks, go back outside with a full new beer and a pack of smokes. And I know Ashton was like, "What the fuck? Where did you get the cigarettes?" I was like, "From the bathroom." And they did the same thing. From the bathroom? I don't think you should buy cigarettes from the bathroom. It's like, probably shouldn't.
probably shouldn't, but the guy had his pants on. I mean, he had to have been legit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was an actual worker, Swampy. He, I don't know, the bar brought him in, or he just posted up and made a whole shop in there. I don't know. Um, I'm
He's a homeless guy that lives in their bathroom.
right. He
selling
seemed
shit
pretty
he
put
finds.
together. He had like the curly mustache and everything. So, yeah.
Oh,
Please, that changes everything.
yeah. Curly mustache. Yeah. I think I've seen him in a James Bond movie, as a matter of fact. The guy with
Yeah,
the
probably in the restroom selling ammunition. So, yeah, interesting evening.
He worked in the. He must have got fired. He's now working at that bar because I think he worked at in the John Wick movies at the hotels.
Yeah.
Would you like a mint, Mr. Wick? And another magazine, a 9mm. Hollow
point. Yeah, it'd be like hollow points, little baggy. Like I think Paul went to buy some ammo from the local gun shop, and they were selling it in sandwich bags. Divvied up. They get a large box of ammo, and then divvy it up into sandwich bags. And we're like,
gotcha.
Wow, we've really come to this point. It's like buying weed in high school. You get in dime bags of fucking 9mm. Crazy.
Yeah.
So Swamp said he'd been to one bar before that had a bathroom attendant, but it was like a classy place with a dress code. This wasn't that. It's like 3 different bars, kind of, but they're all tied together. So like 3 different names, but it's like the same establishment. And yeah, no dress codes. In fact, the first time I went there, they were just giving out like cowboy hats. I guess it's kind of a dress code. But yeah, definitely not classy. And it also,
what kind of a cowboy hat? Was a cowboy hat actually a shot glass? You got to keep it, or was it an actual? Oh, good. He still has it. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Maybe it's one of the little yellow ones with a little string.
Quick math.
Oh, wow! Just put it on from behind. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so
that is so James Bond.
Oh yeah.
Can you read it?
Can you?
Standard line.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty fucking good quality for throw at a drunk person kind of hat. Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of it. It lives on my mannequin in the living room. Another weird sentence.
Nice.
Yeah. So
at least it's a mannequin and not a blow up. That would have been a weirder sentence.
Yeah, I got it on the old sex doll in the living room. Yeah, I wouldn't have any friends. Kiaski, he says he appreciates the dynamic between the two of us. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Well, hey, we appreciate you for appreciating us about appreciating it.
Yeah, and with all that appreciation, I have to say we appreciate you coming into the comments and appreciating Swamp Dog and the whole shebang. Yeehaw, brother, as they say from where I'm from.
I may have to get a hat like that, or I'm not going to try to outdo you with like a Stetson or something. But I was,
You know
maybe I'll
what?
have
I
to
was
get one.
thinking that I would like to acquire a proper cowboy hat for me and Bree's road trip down to the south.
Okay.
Oh, that's something we can talk about here. Swampy, thank you. We're going to get off of the deep life lessons and actual price slide right back into it. But did you hear about old Mr. Elon Musk purchasing 9.2% stake in Twitter?
Yeah. My favorite part is how many people are so mad about it in an uproar,
Mm-hmm.
because they're the same people that were like, well, it's a private company and they can do what they want, and they have First Amendment, and they have, and then and they can do what they want. He can't have that much because now he'll have say. Well,
Mm.
it's a private company and he invested into it, so now he has that amount of, I suppose, a private company, but public stocks that he's purchased. I find it hysterical and good for him.
Yeah, I think I could, I don't know, it could kind of go all different ways. And for anybody that doesn't appreciate Elon Musk, they're probably going to be immediately hateful of the situation. Me, myself personally, I don't want to say I'm a fanboy, but I very much appreciate a lot of things Elon Musk does, and I want to work for the guy. But
Right?
yeah, so I know I he's one of the main dudes to follow on Twitter because it's a lot of solid memes and then like very, actual important questions that he'll ask and updates on SpaceX and everything. But for the last like couple of months at the least, he's been asking a lot about uh, whether his followers believe that free speech is respected on Twitter and if they think that their voices are at all restricted. And a lot of it has, the response has been largely no. We think that Twitter doesn't respect free speech to its entirety. So um, I think it could be beneficial for their freedom of speech policies.
Yeah, I saw a couple of things where a couple of people that work for Twitter quit or were resigning because they're not going to work for him. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
does he only have 9.2%, or was it supposed to be 90.2%? I mean,
Right. Oh, that'd be
you have
fucking
people,
expensive.
right?
Not that they couldn't afford
Yes,
it.
yeah. But it's like, why are you quitting your job with nothing different yet?
Yeah, and I mean he's a board member, so
Right.
he gets to vote on things and be a voice in the company. But yeah, it's not like he owns it. And one thing he was talking about, even like he was on the Lex Friedman podcast. I know they touched on this a little bit. He was pondering just overall building a new social media platform that kind of resided in the same aspect that Twitter does, and that it's
Hmm.
like short bursts of words, but would make it more of a freedom environment because and I know he says it frequently that he believes, and this is one of the things I respect most about him, is he's always talking about that he believes that the restriction of the freedom of speech is the greatest threat to a democracy. And America.
Yes, America. Well, I like the guy. I've never met him. He's never been to my house for dinner or anything. Um, I I don't understand why people get in an uproar about certain things, because I haven't heard him say anything negative or evil, or
Mm,
demeaning to situations. I mean, the owner of the electric car company and many other things that he could really just take the market for electric cars and whatever else he wants to delve into. When that person would be one of the people that would gain the most out of getting rid of fossil fuels and doing electricity another way, so that he can make, let's get rid of gasoline vehicles, make them illegal by 2025. Elon Musk is like, nah, that doesn't, no, you don't want to do that. We actually need to open up the pipeline again so that gas prices will go down so that the society will be better, right? So he understands what everybody's going through, right? Do I believe that he wants to get away from fossil fuels in the future? Sure, why not? Right? He's even talked about how to get rid of them already. Well, you'd have this size by this size solar panel area, right? You'd have this many solar panels. They'll power the entire United States. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah, he was just talking on Twitter with, I think, one of the leaders of Spain, I believe, about how they should build so-and-so size solar plant and they could power most of Europe with it. It would solve a lot of the oil conflict coming out of the Russia-Ukrainian war.
Right?
Yeah, but also when you're, well, first of all, I think most people don't like him because he's the richest man. And automatically, while I don't agree necessarily with the distribution of wealth, he also earned all those dollars and he's putting them towards things that I believe in and respect. A lot of those other people.
And he's trying to benefit others with it, right?
Right. He's not just buying piles of yachts.
Right. And not rubbing his belly laughing. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And I guess he is buying yachts, but they're like, rocket catching barges that are autonomous and go out and catch rockets from the sky. Swampy said Elon Musk is probably the closest thing we have to real life Tony Stark with possibly smaller ego. Yeah, possibly. I think he's kind of he's at least respectful about his ego, but yeah. And who doesn't want a Tony Stark situation? I mean,
right? Who wouldn't want to be Tony Stark? I don't know if I want a glowing thing in my chest my whole life, but I mean that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then you also, if you consolidate all of your energy production into one location, being a large solar plant, Swampy points out, wouldn't it be a easy target for a hostile country? Yes.
Well, unless your president says, "Hey, this is something we don't want you to attack. Don't cyber attack us on this. That wouldn't be good for our country." So I'm sure they'll follow up on that one.
But yeah,
sorry.
On the same argument, yeah, me too. Just especially the jalapeno Tabasco ones; those are the best. I'm just fucking with my hat all day now. Oil plants are also a very good target, and they're not often targeted, but you could take out most of a country's oil stockpiles with not that large of a set of munitions. So, and we can do a whole deep dive episode on the current electrical infrastructure of the United States because it is highly susceptible to basically any high breeze. Often burns half the country down by overhead power lines arcing and catching forests on fire, and it would take barely a cyber attack and just a couple boom booms to black out a good portion of America. So that's something fun to think about.
Yeah, need ham radios and
yeah, we should do a little preparation, but we might get an edit button on Twitter.
The edit button?
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's one of the leading debates right now with the whole Elon. I think it was just after it was announced that he had purchased that stake in the company. He did a poll on Twitter. I know you don't do the twits, so I don't know if you know, but on Twitter they have you can do a poll and you just vote. Right. So it was like, should we have an edit button? And it was like, yes, no. And then yes was spelled YSE, which was fun, dad humor.
I gotta love.
Yeah. It's kind of been a raging debate on Twitter about if you have an edit button, then, well, you can tweet anything and then edit it later on. So then a large portion of the Twitter community was like, well, you can have an edit button for your stupid spelling mistakes, but limit your edits to 5 minutes or whatever. And then me personally, everybody that's complaining about, you'd have the ability to change your tweet. I'm like, you have the ability ability to delete your tweet. You know, if you tweet something stupid and you're like, oh, people don't like that, delete.
I don't see anything wrong with being able to delete some. I posted I did a post a few years ago on Instagram, and Brianna called me out on it. She said, "Well, from my perspective, is it really?" I said, "Hey, if your perspective and you think that that's rude, I'll take it down." So I took it down. Right? Um, doesn't mean that I didn't agree with what I posted. It just meant, okay, well, your perspective is this, my perspective is that. If you feel that that is rude and demeaning to others, then yeah, I'll take it down. But I saw it as something making it aware of things. She read it differently than what I wanted it to be, so I took it down. But hey, thanks.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's
So
being
I
respectful of your family's opinions. And yeah, when your daughter calls you out, you know, that's tough. No,
right. I mean, if her eyebrows went together, I would have been in trouble.
ooh, you getting punched right in that schnoz of yours. Yeehaw. So, yeah. But I've gotten back into Twitter here. I wasn't on it for years, and then got back on it. But I very much like Twitter. I've really, rediscovered it recently, and I've been having a great time on it. So I look brightly to the future of a more free social media environment, especially being pervaded by Twitter, hopefully, potentially through the lens of Elon Musk. And yeah, yeehaw. Swampy says he purposely stays off Twitter, which I also understand because it can get very spicy up in there. So,
oh yeah, we have a Twitter through work that no one's done anything with, and I started to try to figure it out a month or two ago, but it was like, okay, so I'm just gonna scroll through here and like some things, and then it kind of fell to the wayside. So maybe I'll have to get on there.
yeah, I can give you the sign-in information for the Anything That Fires Twitter at Anything That.
Wait, we have a Twitter?
We do. I retweet pictures of rockets a lot.
Oh my gosh, we're getting all grown up.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter, especially you, Swampy, that doesn't use it. It's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Social media is hard. I like to stay off of it, but also, man, there's something about laying in bed at 9 p.m. when I should probably be falling asleep to, start an early workday. And I just start seeing some good classic nonsense, things that start to persuade me into thinking that I do live in a simulation, things that don't really make sense. I'm like, how is this comedy real?
Right.
And, it makes me smile at the end of the evening. Then I realize I've been on it for an hour and a half and it makes me upset, but it's still fun. And
like,
Puck's
dang
bad.
it, I had fun. I gotta go to bed though.
Yeah.
Your cat broke in again.
Yeah. She's a pesky Puck. Punky Pucko. She's probably going to catch herself on fire with this candle over here. What a predicament. We're going to go back to the comments here again. We got Riley Swincher.
You have filet meow.
Filet meow. That's good. You never know what will be shared in a free space like that. Yeah, and I think...
True.
I think it's for the better of things, but it could get very spicy.
Right? Like a Subway.
Like a Subway?
Yeah. Like in New York.
With the farts? Hey.
I'm not talking Subway sandwiches. Give you farts. That's not what I said. Hi, kitty cat. I'm just saying, you never know what could be shared. I said, right. So like a New York Subway.
That reminds me of a banner that I found on here earlier when I put our "We'll Be Back" banner on. It's from many episodes ago. I don't know if it'll, ring some memories here, but
a family that farts together stays together. This is true.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, they may not stay in close proximity all the time, but they stay together.
Indeedly. And now we don't know how to remove this banner.
No, that's okay. And in a family like that, when you say, "Hey, I got your back," could have slight downfall to that. So, anyway,
Jesus.
I mean, you should check your six before you fart. That's all I'm saying.
My father has farted on me on at least 3 occasions, point blank.
Three.
At least one of those on purpose. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
No, we're going to tell the public about this bullshit right here, right now.
Hey, and it's been through 25 years, right? It's not like it's you know,
A common
hey Pops,
occurrence?
can you hand me a beer? Sure, there's your beer in your face or something. No, I don't do that.
That's fair, but when I ran to you, excited to see you after you were at work, had a long day, and I was just happened to be the proper height to get a face full of gas, you know?
I was putting
What
my
I'm saying is
briefcase
I'm
down.
scarred. Mm-hmm. You would carry a fucking briefcase to Home Depot. You fucking nerd.
That's where my lunch was.
What was that? 3 foot long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Jersey Mike's giant the other day for lunch.
Oh,
And
so good.
yeah, so good. I was like, all right, I swear, this time I'm going to eat it over the course of a couple hours. 20 minutes later, and I got like a drip of olive oil on this piece of paper, and I'm like, well, shit! I'd better go on a walk, yeehaw! Like, yeah, that's where I get it
Slurpee's
from.
getting larger.
Splurpy's getting chunky. Splurpy Triponzo. All right. And that's where I'm going to cut it off. Things are getting absurd.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
Wow.
speaking of food, I got to eat dinner.
Yeah, I'm going to eat second dinner. All this food talk. I got another skillet
Nice.
full of schmutz to stuff in my face. Yeah, I
Oh,
made
schmutz.
some mushroom risotto and some, did some sauteed veggies. I did carrots and some squash, some celery, nicely seasoned. Little side salad. Yeah.
Nice. Did I ever make you spaghetti squash?
Yeah. I've had the spaghetti squash.
Okay. It's good stuff.
I've actually got a spaghetti squash sitting on my counter.
Too.
Yeah, Swamp Dog, we'll see you. Kiaski, thanks for popping in and chatting. Oh, Rugalino. Awesome. I didn't get that bit out today. I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's all of the ketchup on the ketchup. We need some mustard over here too. Yeehaw! Tell you what. What's our outro? What you got for us?
Our outro, eat well, live well, love well, share your life experience with others, keep your eye on the moon, and fart with family.
Amen, Papa. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's an episode about something. I don't have the schedule in front of me, and will we stick to it? Who can be sure? Episode 20. Yeah, enjoy the ride of the waves of entropy, and keep your eye on the moon.
All right. Big hugs. Love you.
Merry Chrysler.